I think there's something wrong with me.
There was something wrong, and I felt terrible.
I was so afraid of my future. You can fight. You can fight this disease. We offer a lot of inspiration and hope to people all over the world. We met in community college. We met in a math class.
I saw Cheryl there. She had a cute little bob haircut, very winning smile, which I noticed. And naturally, soon we began studying together.
We had the sun and the surf as our background for our wedding, so it was just absolutely beautiful. I had zero running experience before meeting Brian.
The first training run was 1 block long, cul-de-sac. So we ran the block, we went around the circle, and halfway back, Cheryl stopped, huffing and puffing, her hands on the, and she said, "How am I going to do this?" And she started crying.
I know. Okay, I don't know who that is. After I completed my first marathon, I absolutely fell in love with running. It became part of who I am. Distinctly remember that Brian and we were out on a run, and I said to him, I think there's something wrong with me, but I believe running is keeping whatever it is away. As time progressed, I started feeling even more odd sensations in my right arm.
You know, I sensed that there was something wrong, and I felt terrible. She wasn't sleeping, and it's very scary because something neurological was definitely going on.
So I had my MRIs, and I met up with a general neurologist, and he told me that the MRI report said I had innumerable lesions in my brain and 2 in my cervical spine. And he said that the pattern of the lesions in my brain were indicative of multiple sclerosis. I was so afraid of my future. I didn't know if I could keep on running, which, I loved running. And so my immediate thought was, am I going to be able to walk? Am I going to be able to run? What is going to happen to me? What is going to be my future? Will I be in a wheelchair?
And I'd find her at 3 o'clock in the morning, and she'd have tears in her eyes because she's looking at the symptoms of MS, which is anything. It's the brain and the spinal cord, which controls every function in your body, and it can be anything. You can lose your sight, you lose your ability to move your legs. It stops you from moving, basically.
My doctor did prescribe antidepressants for me, and I was on that for 2 years. But, throughout that time, Brian was still encouraging me to exercise, and I really did find that just 30 minutes of exercise a day, it really elevated my spirits, and it made me feel better about myself. I have always known that I wanted to do something big for the Multiple Sclerosis Society. Then all of a sudden, on July 4th in 2015, I was at a 5K and I was suddenly inspired. I turned to Brian and I said, I want to be the first person with MS to run 7 marathons on 7 continents. And he said, okay, let's do it. And then I said, and I want to do it all in 1 year.
Okay.
We started in September of 2016 in Cape Town, South Africa. Buenos Aires, Argentina. Honolulu, USA. Antarctica. Tokyo Marathon in Japan, Vienna Marathon in Austria, Christchurch, New Zealand, and we actually ran an 8th marathon ending in September of 2017 in Sydney, Australia.
One time, it was actually in Vienna after we finished the race, and Cheryl was kind of looking off wistfully, and I asked her what she was thinking, and she said that she didn't know if she could trade all we had been through on the 7-on-7 adventure for not having MS. She wasn't sure what she would do.
Yeah, I remember that. I was tearful because I wasn't sure that I would trade it all and not have MS, because I never would have come up with this adventure. I never would have met all of these great people if I didn't have MS. But at the same time, I don't want to be grateful for having MS because it's a sucky disease. But at the same time, I'm happy that I can actually do something with the disease and send out a positive message to other people that you can fight. You can fight this disease. Just like Kipchoge showed the world that it is possible to break that 2-hour marathon barrier, we are banding together to show the world that it is possible to still run and walk despite having multiple sclerosis. Yes, exactly.
I got hooked up with Cheryl because now you get this bad news, and I'm like, okay, doctors and people say this, I'm gonna find out what I could do. So I immediately dived into all the research that I could do, and I came across Cheryl when she was doing her 7 marathons in 7 continents, and I started following her, and I supported her during that event. And as I was following her along, I was like, there's still hope for me. I'm still a runner. It'll just be different.
Well, I knew that after finishing the adventure that I would be looking forward to doing something else. With all the people that we met throughout travel, people with MS who are runners or people with MS who want to become runners, and more importantly, people who are newly diagnosed but too afraid to run because there's that stigma of hard exercise with MS is not recommended, and I wanted to change that culture. I came up with the idea to gather everybody that I had met throughout the year to form a team.
So I was diagnosed with MS almost a year ago now, almost exactly a year ago actually. What got me to the doctor was that I was a runner and I started tripping over my foot. So I did a lot of Googling and basically came upon Cheryl Heil and Run a Mile in My Shoes, the team. And so I thought, well, okay, then, you know, if they can do it, there's no reason why I can't keep doing this.
And she came with the idea like, hey, let's get a group of us who have MS and maybe we could do a race together. Not necessarily hand in hand, but we all come together at a race event and do it in mass. And last year we all did it in Detroit.
Within a few days, a dozen people said that they wanted to join us. And then it grew to 20, then 30, then 40 people. By the time Detroit came around in October of 2018, we had 96 teammates. 50 of us actually met in Detroit, and the other teammates were virtual teammates from around the world.
I've never been somebody who said, like, oh, I'm going to back down from that challenge. And I felt like the rest of society was telling me, you just need to back down and you just need to give it up. And I found a group of people who said, you know what, we're not giving up. We're facing that challenge. And I thought, okay, these are my people.
For our second year, I decided to bring the team to Richmond, Virginia for the marathon because it is known to be the friendliest marathon in America. In Richmond, I have 162 teammates, and of those, 68 of us have MS. But overall, including my virtual teammates, we have 286 teammates. I am so excited to run Richmond, but also to meet my teammates because our team has tripled in the last year, and a lot of us have never met face to face. We've only met over our Facebook page, over email, so it's going to be such an emotional weekend for us.
You know, it's never a great community to have to join, but now is a very hopeful time to be diagnosed and to be living with MS. We have more treatments than we've ever had before. We are getting extremely effective at controlling disease progression and helping people live their best lives for as long as possible. And welcome to the community, because it's some of the best people that you will ever meet in your entire life.
The support of the team is really one thing that I think has made my training great, being able to share with other people. And anytime somebody asks, why are you running a marathon, why Richmond, I explain the team, I explain, my mission and staying healthy and sharing and running for those who can't.
We are such a supportive and encouraging group of people, and we're still like a close-knit family. And we offer so much support and even education about the disease and how to keep pushing forward and keep on your running program. So I am just so grateful to have this team, and I know we offer a lot of inspiration and hope to people all over the world. I've learned not to judge. Even though somebody looks great on the outside, they don't look sick. There is so much with MS that goes on the inside. A lot of our symptoms are invisible. We may not be holding a cane or we may not be using a walker, but I do live with a lot of pain on the inside on a daily basis.
This disease is so unpredictable and it's different for every person. So when you ask your doctor, what is my future going to hold? The doctor always says, I don't know. And so we don't know what's going to happen. And the sad thing for people with MS is that when they go to sleep at night, I can't get through this. Deep breath. When people go to bed at night, they don't know what MS is going to take away from them when they wake up in the morning.
I have slowed down a lot since my diagnosis. Over the years, I have had disease progression, and I've learned to be much more grateful for the things that I can do. When I say slow down, I don't necessarily mean just my running speed. With the disease progression, I experience a lot more fatigue nowadays, which is typical for MS. I also have cognitive impairments. To me, if I can spend the day with friends and having good conversation and even just walking along the beach with Brian, to me, that's a great day. So I'm so grateful that I can actually keep on being active. And I'm grateful for my team and my friends, and we are just such a great support system for each other. And I don't know what I would do without them. I know that I won't be able to run marathons forever, but I want to dictate when I stop. I don't want MS to tell me when I can't run a marathon anymore.
Years ago when I was diagnosed with MS, all I could think about was what MS was going to take away from me. And 17 years later, I can't believe how much it's brought to me in my life, including my friends standing up here. But Cheryl, you have brought so much to so many of us in this room. And I think that that's something that such a gift that we are all so very, very appreciative for, because you've taught us that MS doesn't have to take things away. MS brings things in some ways to our life, and you are one of them. So thank you.